Megan Hudson.
And I'm Cassidy Haley, and we're from the Danville FFA Chapter.
Hi, I'm Kenzie Logan. I'm from the Danville FFA.
Hi, I'm Drew Fox from the Danville FFA Chapter.
Alright, my name is Jaron Beck. I'm from the Danville FFA Chapter.
I'm Samantha Shelby, the president of the Danville FFA Chapter.
In this video, we get to know the Danville FFA Chapter. We hear about how it's been starting a new chapter from the ground up, what it's like to have a test plot and build an animal farm, as well as the students' equine SAE and the chapter reporter projects. Let's check it out.
I think it's really cool that we're a part of a new chapter, so it's I don't know, it just feels like you're starting something good.
Well, it was pretty hard. I mean, learned a lot of new things. Last year it was a big learning year for everyone, and just to see what FFA has.
Well, it was kind of confusing with the community and stuff because they weren't used to it.
Right.
But once we could prove to them that it was worth it, what FFA is about, they got there.
It's been difficult. We've gone to, we're starting to go to a few schools to see how their meetings are held. Tonight we're going to the Minneapolis chapter to see how they run their meetings to make sure that we're doing make sure we're doing ours to the best of our ability.
Our advisor he's the one that's done almost everything. And by getting things going and being the passion of it, when I first started last year, so it was our first year as a chapter, I got kind of put into FFA. I didn't know anything about FFA, but after last year and going into this year and stuff, I now have that passion that he has, and so just having him being able to do that, and I think all of us would say the same thing. He's the one that drives it and stuff, and he's really knowledgeable, so if anybody has a question, they can go to him, and if he doesn't know, he knows everybody else that would know,
Our second year as a chapter and our first year of having this cornfield, and which we have now planted and started harvesting ourselves.
Before the field has always been owned by our school, and it was just local farmers would plant it and pick it, and it was given to the booster club for money for our sports teams and fields and stuff. And our superintendent, we had seen that some chapters have food plots and stuff, and we had the idea to use this as a food plot and for money and people's SAEs and stuff if they wanted to do that. In the beginning, I kind of had to line up who did what and what went where and stuff, and had to get fertilizer and hydrous and who planted it, where we got the seed and what we wanted to plant, and then once we kind of got it it started growing, I had to line up spraying and stuff, and now line up picking and where the corn's going and stuff. Out there we have a local farmer that before we had taken over the field, they had pretty much managed the field. They would always plant it and pick it, and out there now they're picking it, and they have a tractor running an auger cart and a combine out there.
I just got to ride in the combine, which is great. He told me how to count the rows and figure out where you're at as you're going through it, and showed me it was a tablet that shows how much bushels you're getting and the moisture content of it. He was very knowledgeable with what he was telling me and he knew what he was doing.
For my SAE, I had a horse donated for us. She's a 4-year-old, would never have been ridden. We're labeling it an internship because my advisor used to break horses for years, and so he knew exactly how to. He's been teaching me, and he's been doing the whole process with me. So far we have gotten a saddle arm, we've gotten on her, we've even walked, shot, and loped and stuff. So my goal is to hopefully by next fair season actually show her if she's feeling up to it. Yeah, but she picks up really fast. She has great bloodlines. So she's not kind of a crazy horse that goes bucking around and stuff. She's actually wants to learn, which is what's awesome about her. So when I was young, I used to live in town. Me and my mom and my family, we loved animals and stuff, but didn't know much about farm animals or anything, but we ended up moving to a farm without knowing anything. And used to have few broken down stalls, and we fixed it up. And when we found out that there was this yearling that needed taken in because it was in a bad situation, my mom, loving animals, was like, okay, let's just bring it home, and didn't know anything. So I actually know quite a bit about horses now, but then I moved out of the country and back into town, so it's kind of like away from all animals, and it was pretty sad. But now being an FFA, I get the opportunity to be with horses again without having to board a horse somewhere or pay for something like that. Well, I already love horses, but she's just pretty special. She's really sweet, and even if like there's some nights that she's not quite picking up, but like the next day she's ready again, you know what I mean? So I think the best part would just be her and the fact that I have an advisor that like already knows all this and can house her too. So that's what's awesome.
The farm was kind of our advisor's idea. The property had come up for sale, and since it being so close to his house, he had the idea of like, hey, this could be like a farm for like our chapter and stuff.
Yeah, for the kids to work around and stuff. So it started out, it was a mess. There was like trees and junk everywhere, like garbage and
Rundown barns and
yeah, I mean you couldn't see the ground. It was a mess. And then we had so many people to volunteer, and we had one guy that ended up being our honorary member this year who put in about 30 hours of free bulldozing labor. And so we got all cleared out, we cut down lots of trees.
lots of trees.
Fixed some fence, put up some new fence, but there's still fence to go up. This is the Danville FFA's new animal farm. Right here in this kind of sloping pit, there'll be pigs, and then in that back corner, chickens, with a chicken coop that I've kind of designed to be split half and half so I can have different breeds. Back here we have a 3-sided shed that our shop kids built last year. That whole area over here is going to be horse pasture, and then this is just our temporary hogs because we already have 2, and then my horse is right across the street.
It's been kind of like trial and error with like getting the help, because I know like in the beginning there was only like very few members of our chapter that actually like came out and helped.
To do it.
There was like a lot of certain people that like came every time and did as much as they could, and they were there from the beginning. And
it was freezing at that point too,
like
wasn't it?
it was dead.
They did that in like the winter.
Like
too.
the first like
So-
work day that we actually had, it was like snowing, like white out, and that day we cut a bunch of trees down, did a lot of backhoe work, and
So that was probably, the hardest part in the beginning was getting people like involved. But I think now that people are like, oh, this is gonna be like a real farm that we can actually have all this stuff at, I think they're like, let's go do stuff on it. I didn't necessarily grow up on a farm in the beginning. I probably didn't know the difference between like a cow and a horse before I moved here, you know? That's probably not a lie. And then I moved here and I love animals, and then I fell in love with farm animals. And I think that just those people that don't really have the opportunity at first, they get the chance to learn about how awesome ag and anything around ag and
yeah.
I'm the chapter reporter, and I make newsletters, monthly newsletters. I keep the social media, Instagram and Facebook, up to date like almost every day. I have like an outline that I do monthly, so it's like around this basically, and I just change the information out. So we have like meet an officer, so this is like my second newsletter or third newsletter that I've made so far this year. So this is our vice president, and I just do like recent events and stuff that's going on and what our chapter's been up to, and just things that our chapter have been like involved in doing with the community. Our meeting, some of our meeting goes on there, and what we're thinking about doing for like our program of activities. I get to like take pictures, and I love photography and stuff. And I love writing too, so I get to write up things about it. I get to go on trips with our chapter since I'm the photographer, and I get to just see a bunch of stuff that maybe other members might not get the chance to see.